Tokyo Olympics opened on July 23rd, lasted 17 days, and ended on August 8th. On August 5th, a 14-year-old athlete from China took the gold medal in the women's diving 10-meter platform with a perfect score.
每一次比赛，你都想好该怎么去做。
In every competition, I'll think about how to make a good dive, rather than waste time thinking about anything else. I just focus on my own performance. I won't say I have to win. I just want to exceed my previous performances. It's enough to do better than before.
This is footage broadcast by China Central Television, where the girl's voice is dubbed in English. In reality, this is what she said. My mother is sick, but I don't know how to pronounce that word. I don't know what kind of disease she has, and then I want to make money, so I can go back and treat her, make a lot of money, and cure her. However, before national television was able to process the footage and cover it up, it has been broadcast to the Chinese public by the media. Chuan comes from a rural family of low income, which means an annual income below the local minimum living standard. Her mother is sickly. She was hospitalized several times after a car accident in 2017, leaving the family in a tough financial situation. Chuan joined China's national diving team at the age of 13.
事實上呢，佢作為運動員嗰種天才運動員呢，係可遇不可求嘅。有時，你有時呢，你有心去閃呢，冇一定閃得到。但呢，有時呢，可能你無心嗰陣時呢，佢會碰入你個眼簾。每日做嘅嘢呢，就係重複練習一個跳水嘅基礎動作。
Chuan also said, "But I don't know how to read that word, and I don't know what kind of disease my mother has." This statement indicates that when she started at the age of 7 and left her parents to practice diving, she was not given the opportunity to study the equivalent cultural curriculum. In a separate interview after the competition, Chuan said with regret, "I haven't ever been to an amusement park yet, or to the zoo, and I want to go play games like grab a doll when the Olympics are over." Maybe it's her young age of 14 that explains why she doesn't deliver standard answers like other Chinese athletes.
站上这个100米的跑道上面，我觉得自己完成了自己的梦想，也完成了我们中国短跑历代以来前辈们给予我们年轻一辈的这个祝福。但是我们还要完成我们的中国梦，扬起我们中国的国旗。
After the news of Chuan winning the gold medal, her home has been inundated with congratulations from various people. 3 companies in Zhangjiang City announced several gifts for her family: a finely furnished home, a retail store, and 200,000 in renminbi. A representative from a hospital went to her grandfather's ward to pay respect, and the hospital offered to provide complete medical coverage for her grandfather and mother. All of these benefits are unavailable to the average Chinese person. Over the past 30 years, China's medical system has become increasingly corrupt due to government monopoly. Drug prices are inflated, access to medical care is difficult and expensive, and over-treatment is a common phenomenon. For example, a patient may be forced to pay more than 6,000 renminbi for an illness that can be cured with only 100 renminbi. For families with low income, a severe illness may plunge the family into poverty. For many athletes on China's national team, winning medals is a chance to change their fate because the Chinese Communist Party, or the CCP, has given the athletic event a special mission. On August 9th, Xinhua news agency reported in its headline, Congratulatory message from the CCP Central Committee and the State Council to the Chinese sports delegation to the 32nd Olympic Games. The statement begins, "At the 32nd Olympic Games, all comrades of the delegation performed well and successfully completed the task of participation. All Chinese athletes are referred to as comrades, whether they have joined the party or not. That is to say, the CCP does not hide the political mission given to the athletes' delegation." The congratulatory message concludes by saying, "May you be guided by Xi Jinping's thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, and remember your original mission, to contribute more to the realization of the Chinese dream of the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation." This is why the athletes of the Chinese national team have been able to use the Olympics to ascend to a social level not available to ordinary Chinese. For example, a well-known former table tennis player from the national team had won gold medals 18 times in various world competitions. The victories allowed the Chinese national anthem to be played on the world stage 18 times. After her retirement, she served as the Deputy Secretary of the Beijing Municipal Committee of the Communist Youth League. She was also senior management of the People's Daily, China's frontline official media. Outside of sports, her most stunning performance is to have bankrupted a government-funded project worth RMB 2 billion in a short period of time. The project was to develop an online search engine platform for the CCP's media. The Chinese public could not fathom why a ping-pong champion would be entrusted with this R&D project. Other successful champions include Guo Jingjing and Fu Mingxia. Guo Jingjing joined China's national diving team at age 12 and won 4 Olympic gold medals from 2004 to 2008. She retired from diving and married the vice president of Hong Kong's Henry Fok Ying Tung Group in 2012. Some Chinese media saw the marriage as a political union. The founder of the group, Fok Ying Tung, is the first Hong Kong resident to join the ranks of China's national leaders and is known as a patriotic businessman. Within China's political context, patriotism holds more appeal to the public than the actual message of allegiance and love for the party. The Chinese state news agency Xinhua described Fok as a close friend of the CCP. Guo Jingjing's father-in-law said in his wedding speech, "Thank you, Jingjing, for marrying Qigong." Before that, Fu Mingxia won Olympic gold in Barcelona in 1992, also at the age of 14. She then retired after winning 3 more gold medals from 1996 to 2000. She married Antony Leong, the financial secretary of Hong Kong, in 2002. For those who do not earn gold at the Olympics but are still among the best globally, some of them have been forgotten by the Chinese Communist Party. During the Tokyo Olympics, a photo of a former Chinese gymnastics champion went viral on the internet. He was wearing a Chinese team uniform, holding a bowl of money in one hand and a sign with his name in the other, as he walked through a subway car. Born in 1983, he was selected for the national gymnastics team at the age of 12. In 2001, he won the hoop championship at the 21st World University Games in Beijing and the men's gymnastics team championship. In 2002, he quit the national team and returned to the corresponding sports team in Hebei province. In June 2005, he retired from gymnastics due to a ruptured Achilles tendon on both legs. After retiring from gymnastics, he had no fixed income and was imprisoned 3 times for stealing. He performed on the streets of Beijing and Tianjin and has sold his gold medals. After his street performance got public attention, he told the mainland Chinese media that although he participated in various competitions as a freshman at the Beijing Sports University, he was in reality a second-year junior high student at the national team staff school. He was only involved with the Beijing Sports University to be eligible to compete. He had asked to study at the Beijing Sports University, but was refused. The university staff told him, quote, "Don't think you can study here just because you are affiliated with the university." Zhuang Duoduo used to be a member of the Shanxi Provincial Women's Judo Team, which operates under the Shanxi Provincial Sports Bureau. Zhuang has won a number of tournaments in China and returned in 2009 after suffering from asthma during training. After retiring, Zhuang has been out of work and has no money for medical care, and the officials ignore her. She once posted on Weibo, the equivalent of Twitter in China, "I only have an education under junior high school. I came home and saw my poor peasant parents. My heart was broken. Please don't laugh at me. When I can't get my breath up, the only thing I think of is to live first." Zhuang previously revealed that the city's sports bureau had used her sister's identity for her to enter the competition because she was not old enough to participate. The coaches also fed her unknown white powder, and her allowance was taken away and her prize money was withheld. Kai Li was the Beijing Asian Games weightlifting champion. He had broken Asian records and won more than 40 national titles and more than 20 Asian titles. But after he retired, he lived in poverty and suffered from sleep apnea syndrome. He passed away in 2003 amidst the stress of life and illness. At the time of his death, his family only had 300 renminbi. When we look at the 14-year-old champion at the Tokyo Olympics, this young girl has managed to make a splash. Had she not been able to do so, her future might have been as bleak as many past Chinese champions.